If you're looking to learn guitar, check out Dave Isaac's Guitar Studio on Music Row. Whether you are a beginner or hobbyist, to professional songwriter or artist, Dave offers a unique and powerful method of instruction that teaches not just the instrument, but the whole musician. Find out more at NashvilleGuitarGuru.com. If you want to feel the wind blowing through your hair and see the great city of Nashville at the same time, check out Nashville Scooter Tours. Trekking through the downtown streets to Music Row with Nashville Scooter Tours is safe, eco-friendly, and a whole lot of fun. They use Xenon electric scooters that go 55 miles on a single charge. Find out more by calling 615-290-5563 or book your reservation today at NashvilleScooterTours.com.
Today on Emerging Artists, we are hanging with Australian singer-songwriter Kane Harrison. We're going to be talking about his start in reality television and his new album coming out on Sony Music Nashville.
Jeff Meeks and Chris Austin invite you to watch your favorite sports event at the Batter's Box at 43 Hermitage Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. The Batter's Box offers shuttle service to all Titans home games. It's a great place for friends to gather for the game and after the game. So check out the Batter's Box Bar and Grill, and thanks again for sponsoring the show. From the family grocery hauler to fire-breathing racing engines, the one name you need to know is USA Motor and Machine, located at 51 Cleveland Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. Give them a call at 615-726-3725 or at usamotorandmachine.com.
All right, welcome to Emerging Artists. Kane Harrison, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so you're originally from Australia.
I certainly am, yep.
Tell us about the odyssey that landed you here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, it's been a long journey, but I first came to America when I was 18 and actually taught music at a summer camp. So got my taste for America and just absolutely loved it and never looked back, and then just pursued the career in music in Australia, and many years later ended up in Nashville and now call it home.
In Auckland? I mean, that's New Zealand. In Melrose? Where were you? Is that in
Melbourne?
Yeah. Melbourne, there you go. Melbourne.
No,
I need obviously a map of the world here.
Not
Where
Auckland,
in Australia
not
are you
Auckland.
from?
A place called Albury-Wodonga, which is in between Melbourne and Sydney. It's a regional town. So
Is it near Byron Bay?
It is not near Byron Bay.
Okay, so just striking out all over
You're
town
striking
here.
out. You are striking out. But beautiful. It's very much like Nashville, rivers, lakes,
It is.
and it's fantastic.
Is there a big music scene there? Country scene?
There isn't. I mean, in Australia, predominantly we'll go and play in the local pubs or bars, and quite often you play covers, so you don't get to play original music. So if you want to start to move and do your own thing, then you make a move to the capital cities. And then, of course, as everyone knows, it's difficult to try and find those sorts of gigs and make a living. So.
Okay, so how'd you hook up with the producer Michael Flanders?
Well, Mike and I actually met. I was playing at our country music festival, which is Tamworth, and we met through a friend. So Jason Kemp, who's a great songwriter in Australia. And then he gave me Mike's number and I just made the phone call. And so Mike and I spoke over the phone and then decided to have a trip. So I came over for 10 days and he and I spent a lot of time together and discussed what I wanted to achieve and what he could bring to the table and how we'd move forward from there. And that's when we decided to do a single over here, The Moments, and take it back to Australia and release it.
So that's how that happened. You produced the single here.
Absolutely.
And then you released it in Australia.
Correct.
And how did it do?
It went really well. I mean, I was fortunate in that I'd had some time on national TV with Australian Idol and did quite well on that. And then I was also in a national competition, which is similar to your Nashville Star, which was Telstra Road to Tamworth. And so there was some awareness. And then we took it back there, released it, got top 10, went number 6 and stayed for 17 weeks.
Wow,
so
that's awesome.
it was a really great experience. And for me, it was kind of just reassuring to know that I was on the right track and that this is where I needed to be.
What's Australian Idol like?
It's fantastic. I mean, it's a great opportunity. I think that there's critics, and I was one of them, definitely, with that way to find your stardom. But I was always taught that if you wanted a job, that you would line up, for 4 blocks to get it. Well, my job is to be a performer, and so I had to line up for 4 blocks to get my opportunity. So I don't think anyone can discourage anyone from having that opportunity. I think that you can learn a lot from it if you're willing to self-critique as you go along.
How far did you make it through?
Top 20. So,
nice. Who were your judges? I mean, people we would know over here?
No, not at the time.
Pop stars from over there?
They were. A pop star's a radio personality, so it's set up very much the same in that there is a judge that is the bad guy.
There's Simon Cowell?
The Simon Cowell.
Why didn't Simon Cowell do it?
I guess
busy
it
with
was
other
just
stuff?
franchised and he was
But he
over
owns
here,
all of
so
it. It's a
he
franchise
sure
all
does,
over the world, right?
Very, very wealthy man, I would suggest.
Yes.
So, and then we had Marsha Hines, which I believe is originally from America and made a big statement in music in Australia through the 70s and 80s in disco. So she did it. Yeah, so I took what I needed to take from that experience, and then.
But after that is when you released Moments.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Exactly right.
So you had a fan base already happen in Australia, and then the
Yep.
single comes in. The single is great. The line, "Life's not about how many breaths you take; it's about the moments that take your breath away."
Yes.
Did you write the song?
I didn't write the song actually, and it was I came to America to write music and to write my own stuff, and then I was very made aware that not everyone writes their own material, and in Australia you tend to write your own material. So to meet the songwriter world and all those, it was a great learning experience. And when this song was pitched to me, it struck a chord. It's exactly what I wanted to write but wasn't capable of at the time. So great friends of mine, Doug Stokes and Bruce Holloway, who has unfortunately passed away, wrote the song. And I'm just so glad that it got the chance to get some publicity.
Well, we want to take a look. It's a really cool video. Let's take a look at Kane Harrison's video, The Moments.
You know it ain't about how much you can make. You know it ain't about how much ground you break. No, life's not about how many breaths you take. It's about the moments that take your breath away. Yeah, it's a Grand Canyon sunrise. You sit and watch till noon. It's your new bride dressed in white as she walks into the room. It's the moment that she later takes your hand and smiles, showing you two solid blue lines.
It's so good, so catchy. But your new material now, you did some recording at Sony Music Nashville, but you're actually releasing this album independently, right?
That's correct, yeah, absolutely. We went in and started the process of recording and went into Sony and set up as if you would with a whole band there, and away we went. And it was a great experience, but for the second half of the record, we really wanted to get more oily and involved, and so we brought independent musicians in so we could sort of monitor what was happening and then use their creativity and see what they could bring to the table, which I really enjoyed that experience. You could listen to something, then move away from it, and when you record in a studio, under pressure, under the lights, magic can happen, and sometimes money just gets burnt up. So
it's true, and it's hard to know sometimes when stuff has gone down to tape. Is it good enough? Is it what I wanted? Is it livable, or do I need to scrap it and go back in? But so you've been working on this project for a while.
I have. It's only been 2 years.
Okay.
I've had to travel back and forth from Australia at the same time, which
You don't live here.
I live here, yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
awesome.
Yes, absolutely
Permanent.
live here.
Okay.
So about 13 or 14 times of travelling back and forth
Wow.
and recording. And then finally was able to make the move at the start of this year. So awesome, Nashville's home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so great. Where was the video shot?
The Moments was shot in Brisbane, actually. And yeah, it's great looking back on that. It was a little while ago, but yeah, it's good memories to look back on that sort of stuff.
What have you done in television? Are you also a presenter?
Yeah, I've done a bit of TV presenting. I just sort of thought, let's take every opportunity we can, and some opportunities come up to do some. There was a Cruising the Country, which is they went around and looked at country music people and events and all that sort of thing. So I was a part of that TV show. Then we did some live hosting at some big events, which was fantastic, and it was broadcast, and some national commercials and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When are people surprised when they hear your music that you're Australian?
Well, I definitely don't sing with an Australian accent.
Right. Is there such a thing as singing with an Australian accent?
I think that there is. I mean, Missy Higgins, who was one of our great exports, and I can hear the Australian in her tonality. I actually get some vocal coaching under Brett Manning here, and we, being Australians, speak so far back in our jaws, and you guys, being Americans, speak so much more nasally and in what they call the mask. So we've just practiced a lot on trying to get from the back of the throat up to the top and not being so sideways. But,
that's so cool.
Yeah, but many people have said, sing how you like, but don't lose your Australian accent when you're talking. So
Yeah.
it's important.
That would be confusing.
It would be very confusing.
But you guys with Keith Urban, I mean, you have a tradition now. People, and Casey Chambers, we talked about her, there is the understanding that great music, and particularly country music, is coming out of Australia. And why do you think it's coming out of Australia? What is it about your country that would make for great country music?
I think it's like, I mean, to me, country music is, I mean, I grew up on spoken word country music, so old school country
Like
music.
cowboy poetry?
Poetry, basically, yeah. Which was storytelling. And I think that people from the country, I mean, everyone's got a story to tell, but I just feel that, you know, perhaps the hardships that might come with that sort of work or that sort of lifestyle translate, and we all feel them, just that some people have the balls to say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, or have the opportunity to translate it into the way that other people may not be able to say it. So, so it's very much the same, but Australia's just, I mean, we've got, I think, 23 million people in a country the same size as yours, so it's very sparse. If you're driving to gigs, you've got a lot of time where there's no one around, so,
Yeah.
you know, you're either singing or listening to the radio, I guess.
Right.
So,
So where would you like to be? Where do you see yourself in like 3 to 5 years? What's the whole game plan for you?
well, the plan in the immediate future is to get this album out.
Do you have a name? Do you have a title?
Not yet. I
Okay.
mean, it's, as you would know, being an artist as well, that's something that I've thrown a few things on the table, and I'm not sure if I'll be a part of the end decision making. I'll have to like it, but you can get a little too close to a project. I've been with this project for 2 years, so I sort of need to step back a little bit and have some other opinions, which I'm thankful for. But get this album out, and again, hopefully, you know, some American people like it and accept that now I'm in Nashville and that, you know, I'm half American, and that we can sort of get a roll on from there. I'd love to do some more TV stuff.
Yeah. Do you go out for TV presenting jobs and stuff? Have you talked to CMT or any of these guys? You seem like you would be such a natural.
I actually had a audition for the new GAC host, so
Cool. Good luck on
you
that.
just never know. But
Yeah, if that doesn't work out, come over here. The new wave in media.
yeah, that's it. So yeah, and done a couple of pilots and that sort of stuff as well. So
Are you an actor as well?
not particularly,
Yeah.
but people like to think that I can. So
Yeah.
I prefer not to. I prefer to just be myself, and that's why I think I lend, you know, my personality more to presenting. So, and playing music. I mean, music is my love and it's my passion. The other stuff is incidental to that. But I think you just have to take every opportunity that you can, and especially being Australian and making the move to America. You just need to be really aware and use that peripheral vision to grasp all those opportunities.
Well, I'm sure there's a bit of a culture shock involved being in Nashville. Anything you really miss about home besides family?
Well, I mean, that's the obvious one. I'm the only one that's travelled overseas within my family, but I've just been so focused on trying to achieve what I want to achieve here, to be honest.
You could be anywhere as long as you're doing
That's
what
exactly
you,
right, and I think that's it. I'm just so thankful that Nashville is so much like home.
It is.
And just even, it's a city, but you know, you can get around and do what you like. It's just a big country town. The southern hospitality is absolutely fantastic, and it's a lot like the values that, you know, obviously the southern people have are a lot of the values that I was brought up with. So I don't feel that too detached from home.
Good,
So,
good. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
And the video is great. Can't wait to hear the new album. And will you come back and see us when it's out?
I would absolutely love to.
Because then you'll have the title and we'll know what the single is.
Be
And
brilliant.
we can, but we're also going to get a performance in studio today.
Absolutely.
What are you guys going to play for us?
I think we're going to play a song called Sometimes the Darkness Wins, which was the song that, you know, we were waiting to master, so to get back onto the album.
Exciting.
So, yeah, it sort of snuck in there. And Michael Flanders, my producer, will join me. So look forward to it.
Well, stick around. We're going to have a live performance from Kane Harrison right here on Emerging Artists. Thanks for joining us at Talkapolis, and we will see you next time. Microcasting for your city, Talkapolis.